Hi everybody, and thank you very much for joining us for our first 2012 webinar. We're excited to be here, and we think 2012 is going to be a great year. Today I'm here, this is Bernard May, I'm here with Adam de Jong, and we're going to be talking about the top 10 internet marketing trends in 2012. We've done quite a lot of research. We spent quite a bit of December looking at what we felt the trends were going to be in the upcoming year, and as it's a National Positions University presentation, as we go through this, we'll be assigning various tasks that we believe would be helpful to make you successful in 2012. So without further ado, going to head over to the agenda, and the agenda is the top 10 internet marketing trends in 2012. We're going to go through each one of those. We'll try to put them in order. Very, very hard task to try and get all of the internet marketing trends in some kind of order, but we've taken a stab at that. We have marketing takeaways, and then actually have an action plan for you for the new year. So without further ado, I'm going to go on to top trend that we believe in 2012, and that is that reputation is going to become crucial. You may not have thought about reputation, you may not have considered internet marketing to have anything to do with reputation, but what we've seen is as your online presence becomes more and more valuable, as you spend more and more time on search engine optimization and on pay-per-click, on having your own social media presence on Facebook and Twitter, and as you spend more and more money on your brand and become more successful, you want to protect that. And so that's what we believe is something that you're going to start looking at. I know offline brand presence is really important, brand protection is important. Well, we believe online that is what's happening. At National Positions, actually, we launched a division to help with that. It's called National Reviews, and it's reputation, and it handles areas such as your star ratings on your profiles, such as on Yelp and on Google Places. And so we feel that that's something you want to look at. Probably some of the things you could do is make sure you've bought all the various the variations of your domain, .net, the .info, and that you have that you've started to put press releases out there and articles and various other things to block out the negative and promote your positive.
Yeah, and looking at the stats, really, they confirm exactly what we're talking about. 90% of people trust online reviews, and that matters a lot because 78% of your customers are researching your company online before they buy a product or service. Maybe they Google your company to compare prices, but also to see what past customers are saying about you. And what we really found, and why ultimately we launched National Reviews, is that it used to be that people didn't take seriously anything they read on the internet. Well, the pendulum's really swung the other way, and now people believe almost everything they read. Of course, the flip side of that is that there still are a lot of eccentric people on the internet posting things that may be true but may also be totally unreasonable, and your reputation can be a really fragile thing, even though it really impacts your business.
And one of the issues that you run into is that some of these negative these posting boards rank very, very well. So it's always good to just be cautious, and to also to be very conscious of trying to get positive reviews onto your local listings. So let's move on to that. Review sites, as Adam said, are having a huge impact on sales. There was a recent study that I read a couple of days ago. It was a Harvard study that showed, I believe it was a 20% increase in business for each star rating that you improved. So if you were going from a 3-star to a 4-star, has a huge impact. Not to mention the fact that if you have a 1 or 2-star, what kind of negative impact it has on you. So 4 to 5 customers reverse a purchase after reading a negative online review. And I actually was going on a business visit to Washington D.C. a couple of weeks ago, and one of my colleagues read a review about the hotel. I'd stayed in that hotel before. It was a fantastic hotel, but it had a 3 out of 5 star rating, and they refused to want to stay at that hotel. I had to persuade them that it was really good. So these things have a major impact.
Yeah, and there's one point we also want to stress when we talk about here when we say search results now include reviews. When you Google, something that you're looking for, whether it's a product or a company, especially in local results, that star rating, in percentage and number of reviews, shows up with your company name right there in the results. So you're spending all this time to get found, to get on the top, on the first page of Google. Well, you're going to be right there next to other companies that are doing the same thing, but maybe they have 50 reviews and a 5 out of 5 star rating. Who is your customer going to choose? Which website are they going to click to? It really is about conversion and having a reliable brand that people are going to want to go to.
So the next trend number 2, is that we believe that, and we've seen that driving traffic is becoming more and more expensive, and people are losing a lot of the traffic that are coming to their site for various reasons. The main one is that not everybody's ready to buy, and at different stages in the sales cycle. And what you need to do, what we believe is important, is to be able to nurture each of your leads. What does that mean to you? That means that you have to have good ways of capturing people's information, have good forms on the site, have different ways of maybe it's couponing if you're an e-commerce site, maybe it's a form if you're a service-based company. And to capture someone's email address, you have to have something valuable to give them. That might be a white paper, that might be an ebook, it might be a webinar, it might be some kind of value exchange. For us at National Positions, it's a tool that says how good is your SEO, where they can run it and they get a couple page report on the review, the SEO that's been done. For your business, there probably is something that springs to mind as to what you can provide to try and capture the emails. And then it's all about nurturing those emails, sending out, once you've got the opt-in email, sending out drip emails and trying to leverage that to make every single visitor to your website really, really count. And as we all learned over time, advertising is repetition, and the more people hear your message, the more apt they are to eventually purchase from you.
Yeah, and just looking at these stats, as Bernard said, people are, your customers may be ready to buy, but they may not be ready to buy at that exact moment. We found that in about half of all, potential customers to your website. And if you can construct these really, personalized emails, they've got 10 times the response rate that just a generic email blast. And just to sort of tell a quick story about this, this week I received an email from a gym, a very big gym, nationwide, that I had canceled my subscription to because I found one closer to my house. And over the last several months, they've been sending me the same email blast every week, the same copy, the same calls to action, and it's no surprise that by the 4th or 5th week I just spammed these guys because there wasn't anything personal, there wasn't a value exchange. A good example of lead nurturing is maybe they would have sent me a series of emails of giving me tips and tricks of personal health and personal training, and maybe tied that into a free personal training session or 50% off, something like that. So it's really value exchange and personalization is really the name of the game.
Yeah, and I don't know how many of you have read the book by Gary Vaynerchuk. He has a great book called The Thank You Economy, and it's all about this idea of you really need to you need to build trust with your clients, you need to give them value and not expect that they are going to marry you on the first date. That you need to slowly, over time show them your level of expertise through providing them with some type of value. So lead nurturing number 2. Number 3 is, and I know we kind of said this last year, but I really feel for small and medium-sized businesses, this is the year of the mobile device. This is the year where you could really take advantage of it, and if you haven't already jumped in and you don't have a mobile version of your website, this is the year to do it. If you're a service-based business, we actually have a free website which you can go to and generate your own mobile website. It's called nationalmobileseo.com, and I highly recommend you go to it and create a web version. One of the trends is in between the middle to the latter part of last year, Google actually separated out their crawlers. They have crawlers that go out now to mobile websites as opposed to traditional websites. And so Eric Schmidt, in fact, last month, I think it was early December in Paris, was talking about how important mobile is, and when we spoke last year about where mobile was going, we were saying that traditional cell phones are going to be eclipsed by smartphones, and that in fact did happen. And so people are taking action on their phones and Flash. Obviously, if you're using Flash, get rid of that because it doesn't work on Apple devices. And I think the whole move today is moving to HTML5, which has some pretty cool features. And just hand over to Adam for a couple of stats here.
Yeah, just looking at the stats here, 71% of users who are searching after seeing a mobile ad. So the conversion to action is really what makes mobile such an amazing market. 53% of people purchase due to a mobile search. So they're searching something not just for generic info. They're usually searching with the intent to buy. And what backs that up is 90% of mobile searches result in an action. So while right now there aren't a huge amount of mobile searches, but if there is one, it's likely going to result in a call to your business, filling in a contact form, signing up for a newsletter, coming into the store. So
I saw this just a couple of days ago, which came out of Constant Contact did a study in the fall of 2011, and when I see these kinds of stats where people for small and medium-sized companies they haven't incorporated mobile, and you got 72%. This to me screams opportunity to all those of you who haven't created a mobile presence yet. Here's your opportunity. The rest of the rest of your competitors may not have jumped into this market yet. On the paid side, on the pay-per-click side, ads are cheaper still. You got a great opportunity of showing up, and as Adam said, people take action on their phone, especially if you've got a local presence. People are looking for a business. They're looking to call on their phone. They're looking to map out where they need to go. It's a fantastic medium. It's not really a separate channel. It just is really a different browser. And that's actually another thing I wanted to bring up, which is I believe that all of apps are, another projection I'd like to put out there is that apps are not going to probably be as important as everybody thought, and that really the greatest app of all is your browser. It works across all types of smartphones, and at the end of the day, if your site is optimized for mobile, people will want to go there, especially because all the data is updated on a consistent basis.
Yeah, and one of the really big things to look for is Microsoft is releasing Windows 8. The brand new Windows. It's going to work seamlessly on tablets as well, and it's going to be a touchscreen operating system. So really, there's all this focus right now into mobile browsing. That these companies have found that apps don't really provide the experience that a browser does, like Bernard was saying. So what that means for your marketing is that tablet searching, mobile searching, SEO is going to continue to thrive because apps are maybe in a few years people are going to look at it as this sort of aberration, this blip on the radar screen.
Yeah, I think there's certain places for apps, news medium and Flipboard and games and those types of things. But for business, that's my feeling, is that it's going to go back You saw Zappos bringing out some nice apps, but I think at the end of the day, people want to look at all the shoes and all the clothing on Zappos and go back to the Zappos website. Again, our projections. This is an interesting, little projection here showing, the kinds of searches that were happening on mobile phones in 2008 versus 2013. You're seeing a lot more local mobile searches, and then the revenue. The revenue increasing really nicely on local, and that actually brings us, straight into our next projection, which is number 4, that local search is growing in importance. We mentioned last year in one of our presentations about local that Marissa Mayer, who's one of the original Googlers, had moved over to run this division. Google was serious about local. Google pretty much dominates the first page on local results. You've got to get into that 6-pack, which are those 6, basically the 6 local search results that show up. It's more important than ever, if you do have a local presence, to make sure your profile is set up well, that it's actually optimized well, that you got your videos included, and that takes you back to mobile as well. If you've got a mobile, you do a mobile search for a local business and you don't have a mobile website, you're not going to show up in the search results as effectively as another competitor might who does have a mobile presence. So that you want to include in your profile, and just there are a lot of things that you can do to make sure that your profile is really filled out, fully, and that it's optimized.
Just looking at some of these stats, just to really take home the point, which is there are 4 billion local searches on Google per month, which is really proportionally that's 20% of all of Google searches are for local products and services, and really the one thing that personifies this is Google Maps app. On an iPhone or an Android, I can't think of anything that's made a huge difference in local businesses, how a local business gets found, than in that Google Maps app when people are on the go. And that's Google's local search. That's what that is. So just to follow up, 61% of all local searches result in a purchase. So a lot like mobile. If people are searching locally on the go, it's usually because they're trying to find a restaurant or dry cleaners or something to take action. And as mobile works, so works local. 55% of people are using their mobile device to buy a local product or service.
Well, when Eric Schmidt spoke in December in Paris, he was talking about mobile and local, and of course the third one was social. So I think when Google speaks, we got to listen. Lots of interesting things going on in social media, and I think what we're going to talk about a lot now is about Google Plus. Google Plus. A lot of people said, why do we need another social media presence? We've got Facebook, we've got Twitter. Do we really need to go to Google Plus? And one of the projections I was making in November of last year was that Google was going to merge their Google Plus results into the search results, and yep, here it happened in early January. So we're forced to really get involved in Google Plus. So one of the takeaways for 2012 is, if you don't have a Google Plus profile, call us. We can help you set up one, or set up one yourself, and try and get as much exposure on Google Plus for one and only one reason, and that is to get rankings, because Google Plus is ultimately going to be it already is part of the search results, the universal search results. And I believe that this is really the only play that Google has to get their traction in the marketplace, is to make Google Plus part of the search results and make it part of the equation, part of the Google algorithm, which means that all of us on this call, all businesses, have to scramble and get a Google Plus presence, if they like it or not. This might be distasteful to you. Google's going through all the antitrust stuff right now. I think that this is probably something that is going to be brought up. Twitter certainly got upset about what Google Plus is doing. But hey, it's Google. They can pretty much do what they like. So that's my takeaway for you is, get a Google Plus profile, start getting as many people into your circles as possible. And let's have a look at some of the statistics now.
Yeah, the stat, it may not seem overwhelming at first. 70 million users for Google Plus, whereas Facebook's knocking on the door of 1 billion. But what this number signifies is that it makes Google Plus the fastest growing social network ever, faster than Twitter, faster than Facebook or LinkedIn. So there's obviously a huge market that Google Plus is tapping into, which is this social search place. And like Bernard says, whether or not you like it, your business is forced to incorporate it into search.
In fact, here is a good example of this is what Google calls this integrated Google search results plus Google Plus is called Google Search Plus Your World. Quite a mouthful. But here we just type in the word blogging and you get your Google Plus results coming in, and they're very prominent. So if you can dominate in this area, here's an opportunity. It's new, it's hot. Get a lot of people into your circles, and you got a good chance of getting to the top of the search results and probably getting a ton of traffic that you could never hope for. I don't know how long that's going to last, but it's certainly something to consider.
Yeah, and if you were to look at this, what we're projecting is that if you were to say type in plumbing rather than blogging, those results that are going to show up on the right, instead of maybe Darren Rouse or Ariana Huffington, there'll be a plumbing company near your house for a company that is very active with Google Plus. So there's no doubt that the companies that are early adopters are going to gain preferential treatment in the results.
And then don't forget about Facebook and Twitter. They definitely are going to be an important part going forward as you get the whole blended results, and Google does look very much at what kind of activity is going on outside of just regular search. So don't throw in your Facebook page right away. I certainly wouldn't do that. I would, it just adds the complexity that you have to have one more social media presence this year. In fact, for those of you with our Internet Marketing 3.0 package, we're adding Google Plus as a free add-on. So please speak to your project manager about that. Okay, and moving on to number 6, video search gaining traction. Well, again, something we spoke about last year coming into 2012. We feel really bullish about what's happening with VSEO and video search, and more videos showing up in the blended results, the universal results. So more videos showing up basically in the Google search results. Why do we feel that? Well, Google has spent a couple of years now giving away free Google telephony to those of you in the United States, and basically what why they've offered this is to try and perfect voice to text, and we see this. It's already become a lot more sophisticated. Videos are getting indexed. Videos are are going to take the audio from the video, and Google is going to get much better at figuring out what the video is all about. And just like they did with text-based search, you're going to start seeing videos showing up. Of course, YouTube's still the number 2 search engine in inverted commas. YouTube has, just a huge amount of traction. And if you can show up in the Google results and you can show up in the YouTube results, you've got a good chance of doing very well in 2012.
Yeah, and we included these 2 stats really because they're quite amazing for 2 different reasons. The first is, this year marks sort of the year where video results go over 50% of all consumer interaction on the internet. So if you're wondering why Google a few years ago bought YouTube, here's why. Google recognized that video content is the most popular form of content on the internet, and that's why it's a big part of the search. So what this stat really shows is that if you are creating videos and you're optimizing them for search, your business is going to get found by more people. It's really that simple. On the other hand, this other stat, that consumers exposed to a YouTube homepage ad are 437% more likely to engage in a brand. What this really means is, if you're active in the video space, people are more likely to engage with you. If you have video content on your website, they're more likely to look around your website, to go to a Facebook page, or to call you. So, video is great for getting found, but also conversion.
Yeah, and one other thing, just again merging some ideas together on mobile. If you're sitting there on your iPhone and you want to, and you've got tons and tons of content, there's probably very little chance that someone's going to read it. But they certainly would play a little video that's on YouTube that you've embedded into your website. So that's pretty much what we've done on all of the national positions pages that we have on our mobile site. And I think that's kind of the trend. People reading less, people watching videos more. You can get a lot into a video in a very short period of time that would take a lot of explaining to do in words. Number 7, and to a lot of you this may be a new concept, so we're going to spend a bit of time explaining what rich snippets are all about and how we feel that rich snippets are going to improve rankings and how rich snippets could potentially also be hurting us because they'll reduce click-through. But what is a rich snippet? A rich snippet is actually another meta tag. It's another tag that you can add to pages on your site. In the example that Adam circled below, it's a recipe site and it's had 5 reviews and it's got 5 stars. And basically, if you've got anything that would be of interest to someone, say for instance your site handles foreign exchange and you always want to show the latest dollar pound or dollar sterling exchange rate, you can actually use this meta tag, this rich snippet, to show that one piece of information for that one particular page. There are about 10 different ways that snippets can be used right now on Google, and I'm seeing this improving your search results. So where pertinent, where available, rich snippets are a good idea to add to your search pages. And you should definitely speak to, if your project manager hasn't spoken to you, they will, if it makes sense to add that to your site. On the other hand, if the main reason why someone clicked through to your site was to get the dollar sterling exchange rate, now they don't have to because it is keeping you on the search results page. And this is the trick that Google is really kind of taken us down a certain path. They want us to stick on their search results. They don't want us to click away. They want us to do search after search and for you to show, for pay-per-click ads to show up and for you to click on pay-per-click ads. So really, I think it's kind of a clever ploy, and we're going to have to just play around with, how much do you go down the rich snippets path versus, how's it affecting your click-through? I mean, certainly when you see, and most of the rich snippets are really well highlighted, like here, seeing the star ratings, I mean, it just pops out at you. And so most of the pages with rich snippets most of the listings, should I say, with rich snippets are going to do better just from a conversion standpoint as well, just that people's eyes are attracted to that.
Yeah, we do want to, explain one thing. When we say it hurts your marketing because page views goes down and the sales funnel narrows, it's still really important because at the end of the day, it helps your rankings. And if you can't get found, you can't really convert and add customers. So really what this is, it's part and parcel with this whole idea that Google's pushing, which is getting more information crammed up on the results, like Bernard says, and not necessarily having to click through the site. So again, it's sort of as many of these things tie together. You look at this result for the salad Thai green mango. Reviews plays a huge part too, because now people can learn a lot about the product or service without clicking through. So they're relying on a rich snippet and reviews. So many of these things sort of work together.
Right, as you can see with the mobile, the video, the local, the mobile, in this case, the reviews that we spoke about, trend number 1 fitting in with trend number 7. Number 8, this is something that linking is so important, and we are constantly experimenting, doing R&D. We have over 600 of our own websites that we work on, and a lot of them that we use it for three-way linking, but we also use it to do our own research. Link diversity is going to become more important. We are really working on that, targeting all sorts of different types of websites to go with, whether it's government sites or EDU sites or niche sites, or looking at competitor linking and trying to create diversification. I think that's really important. The other area is to make the anchor text look a little bit more realistic. Right now we keep putting the keywords into the anchor text, and we've been experimenting with using variations of the anchor text, and I think that's something that over time later on this year is going to become more important. And then finally, this is something which kind of backtracking on something that we were talking about in 2008, which was reciprocal linking is dead. Well, we went back and we were doing some more testing on reciprocal linking. We were looking at sites that are really relevant. Like, for instance, say you got a law firm and you're doing a reciprocal link with another law firm, and it really had an uptick. So this year we're introducing our own platform, which is going to allow you to find reciprocal link partners that are really relevant to your industry. I would keep that linking down to probably 5% of your total links, maybe 10%, but no more than that. It really works, and it's an interesting phenomenon.
Yeah, and just to sort of follow with what Bernard's saying, we just want to also stress that linking remains just a huge pillar in an SEO strategy. Like you're saying, we have over 600 sites. We do extensive R&D. There's a lot of information you can find online about SEO, and there's different opinions, and we take them all in. But what we feel like has made us really successful is we test everything. We really test, and then look over the results. And we have adapted our linking strategy because it's a huge part of SEO, but we want to make sure that we are staying ahead of the curve.
Moving on to the ninth trend. We call this value-based marketing. We're actually going backwards and forwards, Adam and I, and trying to figure out, should we call this analytics? Should we talk about ROI, return on investment? Because getting traffic to your website is becoming more and more expensive. I think we've seen it from all our clients. You want to get a return on investment. You want to track everything really closely. It is all about sales and leads, and it's all about key performance indicators. So one of the things that we're working on, and you'll be hearing from our customer service team, is about KPIs, these key performance indicators. We're looking, just as you'd probably go into a hospital room and you'd see, you're monitoring the patient for blood pressure and heart rate and all sorts of other key functions. We look at websites. We actually have some amazing technology that we rolled out at the beginning of the year. It's called National Analytics, and it's actually tracking everything that's going on your website. We are crawling your website through National Analytics on a daily basis to look at the health of your website, and we're all about driving ROI. That means goal setting, tracking, going back, finding out what your competition is doing as well, keeping your eye very much on the competition, and kind of as we wrote here, iterating, basically going over and over, and again till we're successful. So with this level of sophistication, your whole SEO campaign, your whole internet marketing campaign moves to a higher level, and we can track what's important, what's truly important. Which actually, that goes back to another point before we get on to point 10, which is about what Google's doing on the tracking and what they're trying to do, which is make our life a whole lot harder. I don't know if you noticed at the end of the fourth quarter, they brought out this privacy program, which if you logged into a Gmail account, or if one of your clients are logged into a Gmail account and they click on organic, well, it's not tracking the keyword that person used. If they're not logged into Gmail, then you do get that tracking. So Google's making it harder for us to be more granular on organic. Of course, that doesn't that doesn't count when it's pay-per-click. They can be logged into Gmail, they can be doing whatever. You can track that. So they're really trying to make, in some ways, the pay-per-click more granular, the organic less granular. Not much I think we can do about that. I think we all got bought into Google Analytics and using this wonderful free tool, and then when Google decides they want to change something, there's not much we can really do but go along with that. And at the end of the day, it does show you the aggregate amount of traffic that you're getting. It's just you've got a new bucket which is unknown, which is kind of frustrating. Okay, so let's go on to trend number 10. 2012 is the year of end-to-end marketing. I think after everything we've shown you in the 9 trends before, we're showing you that SEO alone is unless you've got a really niche business, SEO alone is not enough to generate rankings. You need to have social media, you need to have blogs, you need to have local profiles, you need to have reviews, you need to have videos. Google's now looking at your entire presence and that's why we were saying, don't throw out your Facebook and Twitter, because activity on those are going to be part of the algorithm parameters, and so you have to increase your overall internet footprint to really show your size and your value. And it's not only about content and linking. I'm not saying that content and linking are not going to be extremely important in 2012. They are, but it's the other factors as well that if you haven't got those, now's the time to think of Internet Marketing 3.0, our program, the end-to-end program, and to incorporate all of these different aspects, including mobile, to make you successful. Okay, so are we going to just move straight on to the takeaways?
Yeah, and there's a lot of new stuff happening, and we're really excited at National Positions, and we hope we've given you some ideas and some stuff to chew on and things you can use to adapt your business. But the really big takeaways we want to stress is number one, a data-driven approach to marketing success, which is what we're talking about: the key performance indicators, tracking, goal setting, iterating. All this is about metrics that really prove your ROI. That's really what you need to focus on. There's a ton of vanity metrics out there, and some of them are all right, some of them aren't so great. But at the end of the day, it's really about leads. It's really about growth. And what we really are excited about is our new software, which really we feel like is going to empower us to help our clients, grow their business.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, everyone is brutally looking at what kind of return they're getting on their marketing spend, and that's where we've kind of retooled National Positions to be all about value. And I would say that the vanity metrics, a lot of people were very involved in, how many followers do I have, and how many tweets, and how many retweets do I have. I'm not saying forget about those altogether, because at the end of the day, they do drive rankings to a certain degree, and you do get some traffic from social media. It's just, in this day and age, we're a little bit, we need results, and I think that's kind of part of this takeaway. And those people that are focused on actually getting that type of return are going to be successful in 2012. So that takes us over to the action plan.
Yeah, and number one, what we really want to stress is, go to nationalmobileseo.com. You can create a free mobile website. You can contact your project manager. They'll walk you through the steps, explain it as well as they can. There's also a free video tutorial that walks you through the whole process. It's really a 1, 2, 3 structure. It's really easy, user friendly, and we really feel like this is gonna be your first step into optimizing your business for the mobile market. Number two, we really recommend create a Google Places page. This is the first step in optimizing your business for local search. Google Places, having a good, strong Google Places presence is the key to local search.
Or maybe I know a lot of you do have Google Places pages, but go back to Google, go back to your Yahoo listing, all of your listings. Just visit it now and see that everything that you could possibly think of is actually filled out, because that's going to help you get results. And have a look at your reviews. Maybe you haven't really kept your eye on that, but the more reviews you have, the more you're going to rank better. And especially now, I don't know how many of you have played around with Siri on the iPhone, or done a search on your mobile device, and the Yelp results come up right away when you say, find so-and-so business. Local is really, it's just really almost like a freebie to generate traffic if you've got a brick and mortar business.
Mm-hmm. And last but not least, we want to talk about first, before we go to that, creating a Google Plus page.
Right.
Like Bernard was talking about, whether we like it or not, Google Plus is going to impact how you get found. So, the early adopters will be the first ones to benefit. And we're really bullish about that, because we think Google Plus is going to be, for business, what sort of Facebook does for a personal life. So we really want to recommend you creating a Google Plus page. And like Google Places, maybe you have one, but it's a little empty, or it's vacant. We really recommend you fill it out, put all your company's information, your name, address, phone, some calls to action, post a few helpful tips about your industry. Just play around with it, see if you can get the feel for it. And last but not least, now
positive reviews. I think this is the year where you want to spend time trying to solicit testimonials from clients, trying to get them to go onto, Google Local, onto Yelp, go onto whatever particular review sites are important for your industry. If you need help with that, obviously we have a product. We don't necessarily, you don't need to necessarily use us. We have a special platform to go and help you do that, and we'd be more than happy to talk about it. But I think it's important also to buy up your domains, the other domains for your brand. Go out and start protecting your brand in 2012, because there certainly are going to be people out there that are going to try and tarnish it if they can. And it's always a good idea just to be cautious and prudent, and it just costs so little to do that, and you'll be really happy that you have taken that measure. So now what we'll do is I guess we're going to open up for Q&A. If you have any questions, just type them into type it into the chat box, and we will we'll answer all your questions. Okay, so I guess I need to
click on it.
Okay, is it a good way to utilize Google Places if your website is primarily a web store without a real physical presence? And the answer to that is no, not really. I mean, if you you have to have a physical presence, and even if there is some way, maybe you have resellers or you have affiliates around the country, to get multiple physical locations, but Google has a very smart algorithm, and they know where you've got PO boxes, and they know where you've got what they call risky addresses, or addresses where there are lots and lots of companies with the same address. So it's harder now to fake it. So if you don't have a local presence, I wouldn't focus on it. I would just, there's so many other opportunities out there on the web for you.
Yeah, and I guess the other point is not every marketing channel or not every tactic is for every business. Some people will say you need to do everything. Well, if you don't have a local business, the local search really isn't gonna benefit you that much. So focus on the other things. Focus on SEO. If you want to use a little bit of PPC, you can use that. Social media conversion is hugely important if you are an e-commerce site. So it depends on the business. That's really the big key.
The next question was about Google Plus, and the question is, did I hear you volunteer our account execs for assistance in developing our Google Plus profile? And the answer is, if you have Internet Marketing 3.0 Google Plus is included in that, even if you didn't originally sign up for that. And then for those of you who are, an SEO only client or video only client or conversion only client, we'd be more than happy to steer you in the right direction and to show you what a good profile looks like and what kind of information is included. So yeah, please, please speak to your project manager, and they'll be or your account exec, and they'll be more than happy to help you out on that. So a question is Google Places tied or linked up with Google Maps? And the answer is that they really are kind of one and the same thing. They are, Google Local, Google Maps, they're all kind of integrated into one thing. And so if you have a presence on Google Maps, then you do have a local presence.
Bernard, if I could just add, I mean, that's a lot of these things. They have different names, but when you talk about local search, and that's why local search is huge, because Google recognized that their Google Maps app sort of has accidentally just spurred on this whole growth in this market that maybe they thought could it be nice, but I don't think they anticipated it being this huge boon for local businesses that it has been. And if you've been paying attention, Google in the last few months has had this like huge push, this campaign that called to get small and medium-sized businesses online, to get them onto local business, because Google themselves have seen that this has sort of quickly become this huge sort of like revolutionary practice for local businesses.
The next question is about in local search. I'm actually really excited. There are a lot of questions about local search. In local search, there are a lot of companies listed, but none have reviews. How does Google rank all of those companies? Is it only down to content? So one of the main factors that Google looks at is location. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. If your IP address of the computer that's searching for a dentist is close to a bunch of dentists down the street, those ones will come up. But there are a lot of different factors that it does look at. It does look at the title. It looks at the categories that you've chosen. Those are really, really important. When you choose categories, don't do that lightly. It looks at the description, and then it looks at all the other factors: the video, the images, the how complete your profile is. I mean, one thing that really can pump up your profile to get good rankings is reviews, and especially reviews on Google Local, but also on Yelp and City Search and all sorts of other places as well. So those are the main factors. So hopefully I answered that question. Is it recommended more to blog through Google Plus or on my own website? Is there a way to integrate the two? I think that's a really good question.
Yeah, well, there is. I mean, the integration, I guess the answer is to have a blog. We strongly recommend in this day and age for SEO to get rankings, to have a blog on your website, to integrate a WordPress blog on your website and integrate it with the rest of your online presence, and to blog regularly, because Google loves, first and foremost, they love unique, fresh, really relevant, informative content. And the blog is the perfect place for this kind of information. Once you're doing that, really you want to sort of leverage all your content in all these different channels. So you want to sync your blog up with Google Plus. You want to post your blog post to Google Plus, to Facebook, to Twitter. One is it helps, it just expands your reach. Your fans and followers are gonna hopefully like blog posts, forward them to their friends and followers, so more people become aware of you. So this is a sort of viral campaign. But yeah, it also has the huge benefit of sharing content, and Google sees there's a lot of activity around your brand, and they're going to boost you in the rankings.
I got two more points to add to, and just these are kind of personal national positions points, but maybe you run into them as well. The one is that our blog gets spammed a lot. We get a lot of junk spammy things. So we turned off the ability for people to comment on our blog posts. We have a lot of people who RSS and track our blog, But I'm really looking forward to Google Plus being a good place for us to create the circles of people, like for instance, all our clients, where we can put out all the latest news and we can get real responses and real interaction from colleagues, from clients, from prospective clients. So that's what I'm really hoping to do. We haven't started doing that yet. The next thing is to think about blogging and all social media in a different way than you do the content on your regular website. Duplicate content is not a problem with social media, and the more that you have blogs or news or other information showing up in Facebook and Google Plus and Twitter is fine, and it can be duplicated across all of them, and they're probably going to be different audiences for different mediums. You have people who follow you on Google Plus, there'll be people who only follow you on Facebook, the other people are going to RSS you and follow your blog directly. So that's at least the strategy we're taking. It's very, very early days, so we don't know all the answers to everything. Okay, next question. Is there anything new 2012 for e-commerce, SEO, or Google Merchant?
Yeah, actually, if I could jump in, there actually is, and we're actually really excited about this. We have a new program it's an e-commerce booster, and it's comparison shopping engines. So what it does is we have proprietary technology. We have a sophisticated software that helps us, optimize your product's data feeds and promote them on different channels for shopping results. Google Shopping, Shopzilla, Price Grabber, Amazon, a host of different channels to get your products found. So we really, really recommend that if you have an e-commerce site and you're looking to get your products found, to contact us, contact your account exec, contact our PPC department, our head of the department, David Yeager. He can give you a free demo of the service and walk you through how the e-commerce booster program works.
Yeah, and part of that is getting, really free business through, the Google Merchant, Google shopping results, and this program, we've been playing around with it, but it really does get people to the top of the results. I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know how. The trends in the shopping area, but I certainly know that that's something that we've focused on trying to get people to the top, and that's what's new at National Positions, at least, is this new comparative shopping program. Next question is, since there are already Google Maps or Places, would meta tags still be important for SEO? I think you have to look at those as two different things. What's happening on your website, absolutely meta tags and title tags are absolutely critical. Each page has to be looked at separately. Rich snippets, you may want to consider, as opposed to the way you optimize your local listing. And local, there are category tools, choosing the right category. For instance, say you're a dentist and you have to decide, you do so many different things. Are you going to do teeth whitening? Are you going to do crowns? Are you going to do what areas of business do you handle? Is it cosmetic surgery? And so, choosing those categories that generate a lot of traffic and setting up the wording in your local profile is kind of important. But they're totally two different things.
Yeah, and if I could just follow up, the on-site meta content is still huge. The one thing that makes local content to get found, local results, a bit different than SEO, is you really need to focus on the NAP, the name, address, phone number, because the Google local crawlers that are focused on generating really pertinent local results for someone searching, it's predicated on finding someone in the area, in the neighborhood. So you need to use name, address, phone number, as well as the business category. So if you're a local dentist here in Los Angeles in the Valley, you need to put the name of the company, the address, the phone number, because the crawlers then see that and they say, oh, this is a really important result for what this person is looking for.
The next question is probably a quick yes/no question. Someone asked, so people spamming comments on other people's WordPress blogs, are they doing the right thing for SEO? Well, I mean, are they doing the right thing? Are they doing the ethical thing? The answer is no, they're not. Is it an effective way to get links back to someone's website? The answer is yes. But I think overall it's stunting the capabilities of blogs and other companies. A lot of our clients, I hear them say that's the one part about the kind of the internet 2.0, the interaction on blogs. It's just being stifled by garbage that's being put out there. If you do have someone who has a lot of time and they can clear out all those comments, you can get a really good interactive blog going. But that's why, that was just my comment about why I think social media is good. I mean, can people spam your social media? I think they can too. The only difference in Google Plus is you can let certain people into your circles, which I kind of like that feature a lot.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, and yes, it helps, but it helps as long as you don't get caught. And then if you get caught and Google gets mad at you, I mean, that is really the kiss of death for anybody trying to get found on the internet. So, those are sort of black hat tactics. We do not endorse them by any means. They may work for a very short period of time, but in the long run, it'll get you in trouble.
The next question is about the comparative shopping program and who runs it. It's actually run through our pay-per-click division, and as Adam was saying, you can speak to your account executive, but if you want to go directly to David Yeager, he is the person to speak to. He runs that division,
and you can email David at David J as in jogging, David J at National Positions. He will get back to you right away.
And I think that pretty much exhausts all the questions. Boy, this is a really fun session. I hope your 2012 is starting out as well as ours is. We're looking forward to a good year. We're just hoping that the economy, keeps improving and that, the euro doesn't, go down the tube, and that the dollar keeps strengthening, and we all have a great year, because I know that if the economy stays positive, on a positive track, we're all going to do very nicely in 2012, and that internet marketing is going to be a big part of that success. So wishing you all a very, very successful and happy 2012.